Biafra. Oh, hail Biafra. We shall always remember all that perished in the struggle for freedom. All hail our heroes, our precious kingdom, who day and night say them always. All hail Biafra. All hail Biafra. No star shines everywhere. We crave humility. God guide and protect us all. All hail your wisdom, shielding us from fury, unleashed by your anointed hand. Biafra, shining forever.
Good morning, good morning, wonderful Biafrans. Good morning, lovers of freedom. Good morning, friends of Biafra. Anywhere that you are watching us from, good morning from my location. Happy Memorial Day remembrance. I welcome you this morning, anywhere that you are listening from all over the world. Today is the 31st day of May 2026. And we are also in the euphoria of our Heroes and Heroines Day remembrance. These are men and women who paid the ultimate price for our freedom. These are men and women who sacrificed everything sacrificable for us to be free. These are men and women who damned the consequences, whatever it was going to bring, who stood their ground gallantly to defend their inheritance, to defend their heritage. These men said they will not allow Biafra to be destroyed. These men and women fought for Biafra to be free. These men starved, the women starved, to make sure that the evil plans of the enemy against our people did not materialize. Our eternal leader, Dumego Ojukwu, who come from a family of affluence, he used his resources to stand for the right and the freedom of his people. He put aside envy, jealousy, and greed. He put aside pomposity. He came down from the high horses, knowing fully well that if he didn't act, his people would remain slaves forever. He came down, used his resources and that of his father to fight for the freedom of Biafra. Together with his lieutenants like Philip Effiong, Emmanuel Obosi, and the rest of them, Achuzie, who stood by him gallantly, knowing fully well that he is fighting a just cause. They stood for Biafra. They defended Biafra. They died for Biafra. And today, yesterday, was a Memorial Day, Remembrance Day for their gallantry, for their sacrifices, for their immense contributions to the dignity of life, to the salvation of the Biafran nation. We respect them, we remember them, we honor them, we appreciate them, and we salute them. All the gallant soldiers, men and women that died, that Biafra must be free. And we stand today before them anywhere that they are in the world beyond, hearing and listening to us. We are going to accomplish that task for which they died. We can never allow their death to be in vain. And that is why we are fighting tooth and nail. We are fighting gallantly, physically, spiritually, materially, financially as well, to make sure that the cause for which they died was never in vain. Today we have the Biafran Republic government in exile under the prime ministership of Ogechukwu Nkere, who have taken the cause of Biafra to another level in Washington, D.C., where the atrocities of the Nigerian government against the Biafran people are tabled before the congressmen and women of the American government, for them to understand the situation that Biafran people were in 1967 to 70, for them to understand what actually transpired, what happened, for them to understand the genocide that was committed against our people, and for them to know that the only solution to that genocide, the only way to right the wrongs, is to recognize the independent state of Biafra. And under this government, under Ogechukwu Nkere, we promise those who died that we might be free, that this time around we will fight to be free, so that they themselves can rest in peace. So that they will certainly rest in peace. So today, my wonderful Biafran brothers and sisters, We remember them, we pay homage to them for their legacies, their contributions, their fight for our freedom, and we will continue to stand and fight as well to make sure that we are free. Anywhere that you are, Biafrans all over the world, we have to demonstrate that these people died for us. We have to demonstrate that, yes, their cause was never in vain. And that is why we are doing what we are doing today. So today, we pay tribute to them. And I welcome you as well as you follow me to this journey of Biafra Heroes and Heroines Memorial Day Remembrance. Very, very important. Never forget, we will never forget their sacrifices. We will never forget, since 1967 to date, those who continue to pay the ultimate price for one Nigeria. We will never also forget that MAZI NNAMDI KANU, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, is also in detention because of Biafra. We will never forget that MAZI Simon Ekpanjoko is also detained because of Biafra. We will never forget that a lot of Biafrans in various detention facilities all over Nigeria, they are there because of Biafra, paying the ultimate price. We will never forget that our life depends on Biafran restoration. We will never forget that the dignity of man, the dignity of the African nations, the black race, also depends on Biafra. That is the reason why Biafrans all over the world, we must continue to fight the cause for Biafra. We will continue to demonstrate that we can never allow the enemy to succeed in their efforts, in all their actions and activities, in holding us to ransom. We will never forget that the Nigerian government are hell-bent in making sure that Biafra is never actualized. We will never forget that the British government are doing everything possible to make sure that the issue of Biafra, we will never forget. We will never forget. And that is why all hands must be on deck. That is why we must continue to do what we are doing. That is why we must demonstrate the love we have for Biafra. That's why we must never give up. We must never give up fighting for our freedom.
Hope was born and hell descended. Rivers ran red, children cried for food. In the shadows on bodies of the young and children, women buried babies in shallow graves, while the world watched and looked the other way. From Woolly Street to the starving field, 1 million souls crossed into eternity. They call it war, we call it genocide. Our peoples refused to die. May 30, 1967, we still remember the day hope was born and hell descended. Rivers ran red, children cried for food. In the shadow of famine and flying bombs, Biafra, Biafra, your name we call. Though they try to bury you behind the wall, your spirit lives in every soul that knows the price of freedom and the blood that flows. Whoa. No victors, only survivors left to tell of the pain, the courage, and the tears that fell. Nigeria may hide one flag, but 2 wounds remain. Only Biafra independence can heal these wounds in the heart of a nation still carrying the pain. We do not forget, we will not be silent for the unborn children and the dead who cry loudest. May 13, 1967, echoes in the wind, never to be erased. Biafra lives in memory and in flame. One day the truth will speak your name. We say loud and clear, never again, never again, never again. Biafra independence is not negotiable. Biafra independence is not negotiable. Biafra leaves. Today Nigeria is in confusion. Jihadist terrorist killings everywhere in Nigeria. Biafra leaves, retreat and surrender is dead for us. Therefore, no retreat, no surrender. God bless Biafra Republic, government in exile, under the leadership of Prime Minister His Excellency Ogechukwu Nkere, for standing tall for Biafra independence and freedom. God bless Biafra. God bless Biafra. God bless Biafra, the land of the rising sun. God Biafra. God bless Biafra. God bless Biafra, the land of the rising sun.
Thank you so much. At this point, we go to the next item on the program, that is the memorial.
God bless Biafra and God bless Biafrans. Yes, so welcome back, welcome back. That was a very wonderful one there, composed for this very Memorial Remembrance Day. So if you have not shared this, please share and share and share. We are at the peak of making history in this generation. Remember what Philip Effiong told Gowon, told the Nigerian government. tell the British government, these people that you killed their parents, these children that you are killing their parents, if you don't treat them well, if you don't bring them together, if you don't try to negotiate and and come in terms with them, these people are going to rise up. They are going to fight. And this time around, it is going to be win-win for us. Nigerian government did not listen to that advice. They didn't take it seriously. They didn't do anything with it. They threw it on the trash can and the trash bin. And today, what are we seeing? We are seeing Biafra before us. We are seeing freedom before us. We are seeing liberty before us. We are seeing restoration before us. Because the prophecies of old must come to pass. The atrocities that were committed against the Biafran people can never go unpunished. Nigerian government thought that they have won. Nigerian government thought that, oh, it all depends on them. But today, things have changed. Today, Biafrans are rising. Biafrans are fighting. Biafrans are winning, and we will continue to win. We will continue to win and win and win. Nothing is going to stop us from winning, because it is destined that Biafra must be restored, not in years to come, but in this generation, in this dispensation. Very, very, very important.
These, not all of them, to the Igbos, the original owners. Oh no, we're quite certain. In fact, the only reason it is not called or not accepted as genocidal is because of the Cold War. At that time, anything ethnic-based was almost like an insult to humanity. And ethnicity became a term of abuse in politics. That's all. If it were today, certainly, what happened in Nigeria is much, much worse than what you have seen of Rwanda, not to talk about Eastern Europe. The war was not Ojukwu's war. I happened on the Igbo situation at the time of the conflict. I did my duty to the best of my ability. And I am glad that Nigerians generally recognize this fact. One man could not have held the entire Nigeria and her allies for 3 years. The Igbo people felt threatened.
Titan is differentiate between peaceful, law-abiding Muslims and radical Muslims who want to kill others, to force their religion on them. The problem is that wherever peaceful Muslims are, there are some radical Muslims amongst them. That is why they began a jihad in 1966. That is why we had to stop it. That is why they killed millions of our people. That is why we declared Biafra. Because we are a peaceful people, and oil and water can never mix. My story is a warning to Nigerians. For years, I was prevented from speaking the truth by exile, prison, harassment, poverty, surveillance, and death threats. held over many of the actors like Ojukwu, Zik, Awolowo, Ibiam, and the January 15 boys that survived. But as I watch today, many of the events that led to the revolution are happening again, like Boko Haram, Fulani militia, Niger Delta militants, Shiites, IPOB, and mass murders. Some people think we acted wrongly in carrying out the January 15th revolution, but they may not be fully aware of the realities then. We were trained by the British to be patriotic, to give the ultimate sacrifice for Nigeria, and to stop anyone acting against the nation. Instead of our leaders using us to defend Nigeria, they were using us to suppress the citizens. We decided to arrest them for their atrocities because no one was willing to act. Not Zik, the president, who was powerless, not Ironsi, the head of state of the army, who was a conservative. There were many reasons why we had to act. 1, to stop the killings in Yoruba land and the Middle Belt by NPC, the ruling party. 2, to stop the invasion of Yoruba land on 17 January 1960. 3, to correct the massive rigging of the 1964 elections. 4, to free Awolowo from prison and make him the Prime Minister. To stop the terrible corruption, nepotism, and regionalism of the NPC, the ruling party. 5, to stop Ahmadu Bello's planned jihad. It was good that we acted to save the Yoruba and the Middle Belt people, and we thought that was enough to stop the jihad. We could not foresee that they will massively attack innocent Igbos. Blame those who decided to massacre our people for their evil. Today, we are fighting Buhari. He is killing Shiite Muslims and IPOB members. With the benefit of hindsight, we can see other ways of dealing with such evil. But for us in 1966, we just wanted to save the people from massacre. I wish to congratulate NNAMDI, KANU, and IPOB for the good work they are doing to free our people from Nigeria and radical Islamism. Many of our people do not understand how vast IPOB is as an organization and the quality of the people that run it. On arrival in Israel, I started meeting high-quality professionals, and I was amazed. I don't know how IPOB united power professionals abroad, power traders at home, and ordinary people from market women to even riff-raff, all under one IPOB family, with worldwide radio and television. Every Igbo and Biafran should be proud of them. They are the strongest force we have today to achieve freedom for all Nigerians. No wonder they can take on the Nigerian government and win. However, it is money that makes things work. I shall donate 10% of all the profits of my new book to IPOB. It is my tithe to freedom. Tithing is God's tax to raise money for the government of the children of God. I urge you all to regularly do the same so we can have the resources to achieve our objectives. On this day of 15th January 2019, the anniversary of our revolution, I want to hand over to NNAMDI KANU and IPOB the baton of the January 15 boys to you to complete the revolution we started. I am Ogene Obosi, a chief and elder of the Obosi people. I bring to you the blessings of the ancients. I fought for Biafra. I was wounded for Biafra. I shall die for Biafra. He said,
Yakasai and northern commentators keep happening about.
Engaged in Biafra's most successful offensive of the war. How the Biafran army succeeds, armed as it is with an odd-lot collection of weapons, is a puzzle. Some at the front carry communist-made AK-47s, like those used by the Viet Cong. Some only World War I bolt-action antiques. Others modern British semi-automatics. And their pride and heaviest weapon, a .30 caliber machine gun just captured from the Nigerians. Much, in fact, of what the Biafrans are now using against the Nigerians, they have taken from them. One military man up here told me, not totally as a joke, that Biafra now looks upon the Nigerian army as its quartermaster general. And if the Nigerian army runs on beer and bullets, the Biafran army lacks both, with ammunition constantly in critically short supply. These troops had advanced 6 miles in less than a week. Then, practically out of ammunition, were forced to stop on the road to Port Harcourt until more supplies trickled down to them. One of this army's other problems is staying large enough to continue the fight against Nigerians. When Biafra seceded in 1967, it had fewer than 1,000 men under arms, and those mostly officers and clerks. Now it has been built up to between 45 and 60,000. The exact number, a military secret. Volunteers made the original army build-up easy. Now conscription of virtually all able-bodied young men is underway. And in a former school compound, we found recruits drilling, marching in the mud to the improbable tune of MAZI. These new soldiers are also taught the rudiments of jungle warfare and ambush, to be used against an enemy which holds most of Biafra's major cities, several vital road links, but not too much of the countryside. The training is basic, but effective.
We're going to stop us right by the shoulder here, and we want to defend it. Now.
And here I met a young trooper, a very young trooper in the Biafran army. How old are you?
I'm 10 years.
10 years old.
Yes.
Do you know why Biafra is fighting?
The Biafra is fighting for survival, sir.
Is it going to win?
Yes, sir.
His spirit and that of this tattered army, driven by fear of genocide which may or may not lie ahead if they lose, plus what must be massive ineptitude on the part of the Nigerian army, is the most probable reason that this war of unequals now has gone into its 3rd year.
Nigeria before the war had an army of just 6,000, and they were professionals, their officers trained by the British. They served with distinction as part of the UN force in the Congo. But then Biafra declared its secession, and all of the Igbo officers and men, some of the best, left to become the nucleus of Biafra's army. In just the past 2 years, Nigeria's army has exploded to 14 times its original size, to 85,000 men. Recruits who used to get 6 months of training now get a mere 6 weeks. They are volunteers, most of them illiterate, just out of the bush, with little sense of nationhood. Their leaders tell them that they are fighting for one Nigeria, but that does not, it cannot have the same urgency for them that mere survival has for the Biafran. A Nigerian soldier may volunteer because he needs a job, or because army life appeals to him as the good life. Besides his uniform and the prestige that goes with it, he gets a comfortable ration of beer and cigarettes. And the pay, at $40 a month, is not bad. His leaders are not aggressive. Most military observers credit what success the Nigerian army has had so far chiefly to their lopsided superiority in firepower furnished by the British and the Russians. It is said only half in jest. The Nigerian army has so much firepower that they use ammunition as a defoliant. Nigeria's planes, MiG-17s and Ilyushin bombers, were bought for cash from the Russians who want to get a political foothold here. Most of the planes are flown by Egypt, who are characterized as wary of anti-aircraft fire, therefore less than enthusiastic about going after military targets. That, it is suggested, is one cause of the high civilian casualties in the air raids on Biafra. But the war has been bloody on both sides, and inept and unaggressive though they may be, the Nigerian army, in 2 years of sporadic fighting, has suffered heavily. They will not release official casualty figures, but an army doctor told me that 8,000 Nigerian soldiers have died, and perhaps another 25,000 have been wounded. The military has just 11 army doctors for its 85,000 men. A severe head or body wound in the field means almost certain death.
War story, and now they can't. If we want to teach the Biafra story in schools, I tell you, one of the reasons they stopped teaching history was that they couldn't tell our war story, and now they can't tell the Biafra story, and we cannot tell the story of the coups properly. Now, a country with so many secrets that it cannot divulge cannot write history. It is wrong to talk about ignoring the Biafra story. All the injustices and the oppression that led to Biafra are still very much present and with us. You can't escape Biafra. And in fact, the reason we do need to continuously exhume the ghost of Biafra is that the ethnic principles on the basis of which we had to go to war are all pervasive in the Nigerian society of today. And our leaders do not appear to know what to do about them. They start from the wrong premises. Some want to eliminate ethnic groups. It is not possible to eliminate ethnic groups. That old statement by Ahmadu Bello in reply to Zik. Zik said, let's forget our differences. Ahmadu Bello said, no, let's understand them. When you do understand them, you will discover that it is possible for those who are supposedly radically opposed to themselves today, it is possible for them to sit at the same table and discuss virtually every problem.
Biafra had a military-industrial complex. They had no money. They were fighting Nigeria at the time from 67 to 1970. They made their bombs. They made their propelled grenade. They had their tanks. They had what's it again? Now, they had, when the war ended, this was dismantled. I was a kid. I went to the vice president of Nigeria, Vice Admiral. I said, why did you disband the military-industrial complex of Biafra, which could have been integrated into Nigeria, and by now we could have had the nuclear bomb? And he said to me, the reason was they felt Biafra would rise again. And so, as a child, I went to Uli Airstrip, and I saw Uli Airstrip had every 10 meters they dug a hole because they did not want the planes to land in Uli. And I saw the governor of the other day, and he said till today they cannot surface that road properly because of the damage caused by Nigerian forces because they felt Biafra would rise one day. We are the cause of our problem. Biafra had a military-industrial complex. They had no money. They were fighting Nigeria at the time from 67 to 1970. They made their bombs. They made their propelled grenade, they had their tanks, they had, what's it again? Ogunige. Now, they had, when the war ended, this was dismantled. I was a kid, I went to the Vice President of Nigeria, Vice Admiral. I said, why did you disband the military industrial complex of Biafra, who could have been integrated into Nigeria, and by now we could have had the nuclear bomb? And he said to me, the reason was they felt Biafra would rise again. And so as a child, I went to Uli Airstrip, and I saw Uli Airstrip had every 10 meters they dug a hole because they did not want the planes to land in Uli. And I saw the governor the other day, and he said till today they cannot surface that road properly because of the damage caused by Nigerian forces, because they felt Biafra would rise one day. We are the cause of our problem.
Issue of gender. We are not hated because we are who we are. We are hated. We are where we are today because we are all born Biafrans. We are all destined to be born where we were all born. That is why, if we are encountering difficulties in life, if we have passed through thorns and scourges in our lives, it is because we are Biafrans. Do we have to give in? Do we have to continue crying? Do we have to give up? Do we have to surrender? Because we've been beaten so hard, because we've encountered so much stumbling blocks, because we have seen hardships in our path, on the ways. No.
A question was put to him.
The lives lost.
I will be very brief and not extensive today due to my current
to the U.S. government. This is, it's just not going to work out for them, and under no circumstance I can assure you that anything will be agreed to by the U.S. government in terms of requests by the government of Nigeria. This is not a situation at all like Finland or the UK or Kenya, and that's why our relationship with the U.S. government is important, because if you have a close partnership with your these host governments, they could also take the necessary actions to protect those with whom they're working with. So, I'm very proud of what we're doing. What I would say is the Biafrans should not even think about in terms of, is Biafra going to come? It's not a question of if, it's a question of when, and it's also a question of how ready are the Biafrans, right? So, how fast the U.S. international community can move also is dependent on how fast the Biafrans are ready to move. So I think, the support is there for us to achieve what we want to achieve, the external support. I think what's needed also is for the Biafrans to take things to the next level, to move past all the nonsense in the past in terms of, the dramas, the chaoses, people running around, trying to create these small groups, all that nonsense. They need to move past all that and get very serious and prepare for establishing a new country. So, the support is there. Briggy has very good relationships, but the Biafrans themselves also have to demonstrate that they are ready for independence as well. So it's a question, things are moving now towards getting Biafra ready for independence, and all of you have a very important role to play to make sure that we achieve what we need to achieve in a timely manner. I'm grateful for the support that all of you have given to the government, and also in serving in the government or supporting the government. So I'm very happy with what we're achieving. And again, you could tell who's serious and Briggy's really the only player, because the Nigerian government is going after us. They're not going after all these random people. The Nigerian after us. So, both the U.S. government knows and the Nigerian government knows who's serious and who's in charge and who's actually, pushing the envelope forward. So I think now's the time to get serious. All of you have a role to play in terms of, all the confused people who are running around, the people who don't know their left foot from the right foot, putting them all to one side, parking them somewhere else, so we could go and achieve what we need to achieve. So I think the best thing that could happen now is we have a very solid group now in Briggy and the current people who are involved. And I think now there's a very solid foundation. And I think what I'm hoping is over time, as things develop, there's going to be more of a consolidation as well. So I'm very proud of everything that all of you have done. What you need to do is to continue support Briggy, and know that there is a straight path to achieving what we want to achieve. So something that perhaps was more of an aspiration perhaps a couple of years ago, I think now is a reality. It's something that is very achievable. And I think it should be very encouraged. And people have admitted this to me as well. People here in Washington have told me, hey, a couple of years ago, if you mentioned Biafra, I wouldn't have taken it seriously. But now this is something that is very much a possibility, and it seems like we're moving towards. So, Biafrans are impatient. If Biafrans want things to happen, more quickly, and Eunice, our wonderful Eunice, and mentioned that some of our Biafran friends aren't patient. It's not all on the U.S. or other governments. It's also on the Biafrans, because if the Biafrans themselves are, messing themselves up with drama and nonsense, again, the U.S. government or the international community can only move as fast as the Biafrans themselves can move. So it's important on the impetus on the Biafrans to make sure that they themselves are organized. There isn't any of these distractions and nonsense. The U.S. government, international community can do a lot to help. They can do a tremendous amount to make sure the Biafrans are successful. But the Biafrans themselves also have to make sure that everything's moving well on their part, and then we can move quickly to achieve the goal. And the Prime Minister will address you now. And I know he's going to bring some even more positive news, I think, demonstrating the maturity of the movement and how things are developing. So I just want to say I'm proud of all of you, what you're achieving. The Prime Minister is working hard. We talk every day, sometimes at midnight or 1 a.m. about urgent matters. And I think we're all very fortunate, Mr. Prime Minister, for your service and dedication, which is very inspiring. It's an honor to call you a friend and comrade in this endeavors, and to work with this wonderful and dedicated team that you have. So thank you, and it's an honor to be here. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Elias. We appreciate you. You are actually a God sent. You and your team, we say thank you. We really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Wow, today is the D-Day. Day to reflect. Day to ask questions. Thoroughly think about what is happening in our land. Some can turn it to a day of merriment, but I don't think it is a day of merriment. It's a day of remembrance. So those that fought before us while they took that action. Good afternoon. Greeting from here, my fellow Biafrans. Today, May 30th, we gather in solemn remembrance. We remember the millions who suffered, sacrificed, and gave their lives for the vision of Biafra self-determination, dignity, security, and a better future for generations yet unborn and born. It's not simply a day or a calendar. It is a sacred covenant between the living and the dead. It reminds us that Biafra was not born out of ambition, hatred, or conquest. Biafra was born out of necessity. It reminds us that Biafra was not born or just imagined to be. It was born out of the need of a people to live, to be protected, to preserve their identity, who they are, value of life, and to secure a future for their children. It's not only a remembrance of the past, it's also a day to renew our vision for the future. We must complete the work that our ancestors began. The injustice that led our people to seek freedom have not been resolved. In many ways, they have deepened. The Nigerian today is facing a profound political, security, religious, and humanitarian crisis. The same failures of governance, insecurity, persecution, and inclusion that made Biafra necessary in 1967 remain present today. Indeed, the need for Biafra is even more urgent now than it was then. The Biafra Republic government in exile has emerged as a serious political vehicle for the aspiration of the Biafran people. We have elevated the Biafran issue to the highest level of the United States government, of which we are all aware of, and the international community. We have brought the suffering, persecution, and aspiration of our people to the attention of some of the most powerful leaders in the world today. The world is beginning to listen, my fellow citizens. The United States government and other international actors have taken greater notice of the persecution of Christians and vulnerable communities in Nigeria, including Biafrans. We have now friends, allies, and supporters at high levels of government, policy, and international affairs. Ours is no longer isolated, becoming part of a larger global conversation about its security, religious freedom, human rights, and self-determination. Biafra is well positioned to become a key ally of the best strong leader of the world, United States of America, and the civilized world in West Africa. A free Biafra will be a partner of peace, which is very important. Security, which is important. Economic development, religious freedom, and regional stability. The Biafra of 1967 to 1970. Today, we have access to international political network, diplomatic channel, global media, not like 1967 to 1970 that our voice was suppressed. Not like 1967 to 1970 that the world knows little about what is happening. So have our legal advocacy and strategic partnership that can advance our cause before the world is very, very important. We are in a significant, stronger position than our ancestors were during the first struggle. 1967 to 1970, our ancestors, our leaders then don't have the opportunity we have today to dialogue with the United States of America, the leader of the free world. Their courage, our ancestors, our heroes, their courage gave us a foundation. Their sacrifice gave us a duty that we must all carry on. Keep fighting, keep moving. We must not disappoint them. And for those that are making mockery of May 30th, if you're one of them that don't show to support this great cause, but today you decide to show up because it is May 30th, Remembrance Day of our hero and heroines, don't let this work against you. Today is a sacred day. If you're one of those that are making this day mockery day, desist from it. What takes now is to act with discipline, unity, and wisdom. We must show the world that Biafra is not merely a memory of the past, but a responsible and necessary vision for the future. The Biafran people at home and in diaspora, I say, have hope. The sacrifice of our ancestors will not be in vain. We remember them today, not only with words, but with renewed commitment. You as a Biafra, how committed are you? Will you change from your evil way? Will you change from sabotaging our heroines? Will you repent? Will you be truthful to yourself? How committed are you? Be in vain. Remember that
How committed are you for Biafran restoration? That is the question that the Prime Minister MAZI Nkere asked in his maiden speech of the 30th Memorial Day Remembrance speech. How committed are you for Biafran restoration? Are you still one of those who think that Biafra should not be recognized, that Biafra should not be free? Are you still in the group of those who believe in one Nigeria? Are you still those who are propagandists on social media? I can see one of them, Dozie123. These are agents of the Nigerian state. They go to various platforms. They try to stoke up anger and write all manner of jargons on the comment section. Our 30th of May remembrance, they went as expected. And the heroes and heroines of our life, they are so happy that we continue to remember them. This is about 50 years after the Biafran War. There are young men and women up to the ages of 30, 40 who know nothing absolutely about the Biafran War, about the genocide, about the pogrom, and the humanitarian catastrophe that followed. Many of our Biafran brothers and sisters like Dozie do not understand why the war happened. They don't know who fought it. They don't know what led to the no declaration of victory. They don't know that a lot and millions of Biafran lives were lost just within three years. They don't actually understand what actually happened, because there was an erasure of history in our schools. The Nigerian government tried to cover the atrocity. They tried to cover their tracks. They didn't want us to know. They didn't want us to understand. They didn't want us to get the absolute information of what the Nigerian government did. They never wanted this generation to know the atrocity of the Nigerian state. And the question everybody should be asking yourselves, if you are heard, your head is correct. If you are insane, if you are sane, if you are reasonable, if you have a Biafran blood, one of the questions you should ask, why has one of the most defining moments in our history, most of the important thing of our life, why was it trying to be erased from the consciousness of this generation of Biafran that are coming up? Why? Why is the Nigerian government hell-bent on erasing history from our schools? Why? Why? It's a question you should be asking yourself. People like Dozie should ask themselves, why did their own, bankrollers, their slave masters. Why did your slave master try to erase history or stop teaching history in the schools? Why?
No nation, no flag to call your own. Your grandchildren will ask why you left us alone. The risk is real, extinction in disguise. A people scattered till their memory dies. Biafra calling all. From Biafra streets to Washington's busy lane. From hills and valleys of Biafra to Atlanta's rain. Lawyers, doctors, traders, engineers, send your skills, knowledge and power to support your only government. 1 million voices, 1 million hands can birth our nation today and now, and save our people from these burning sands. Not by bullet first, but by clear vision. Fund the diplomats, the media, the lobbyists, the attorney, who are our voice in Washington, D.C. Rise, Biafra, this is our time to shine. Every contribution draws our freedom line closer, from homeland soil to the...
So why are people like Dozie not concerned about why history was erased? Why the Nigerian government tried to to hide everything that happened during the Biafran War? Why is the history of the war, the atrocities, the displacements of millions, and the sufferings that endured by entire communities, why is it not recorded? Why are people not reading about it? Why are the stories of the victims, the people that survived, the people that, experienced what happened? Why was it not taught in schools? Why is this silence? If all these atrocities that Nigerian government committed, and if this silence was not planned, has there been any serious legal or constitutional effort ever made to challenge the exclusion of history from the national educational system, including those who call themselves learned colleagues of Biafran extraction? Have they challenged the status quo? Have they challenged why Nigerian government did not allow the history of what happened to be recorded and for people to read about it? Why has there not been any consciousness to awaken what this painful scenario